Jack, why don't you give us a little intro here?
All right. Hello again. Welcome to the Liam Huser YouTube channel. As you know, some familiar faces are here, but we also have a new face today. Heir to the bloodline, CPH is here. Round of applause.
Thank you.
CPH, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
It's not my YouTube channel, but you're welcome.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
thank you. You know,
I did have the final decision though.
yeah, people who watch the the channel a good bit, they know I don't like having Jack on.
Yeah.
It's common knowledge. I do not like Jack being on this channel.
There needs to be a buffer.
There needs to be a buffer. Thanks for coming along the ride.
Thank you.
This one's Jack, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was a little confused.
Some call me John Robert.
Introduce yourself, man. What are you all about?
My name's Colin Patrick Huser, also known as CPH, and play a lot of Fortnite.
Hell yeah.
Just kidding, that's actually not true. I don't play any Fortnite.
You did at one point though.
Yeah, a while ago. I haven't played Fortnite in a while.
This is good stuff so far.
Yeah. Why are we here today, Liam?
Well, I alluded to it at the end of our last video, but we're gonna start, doing a little bit of a different series here. It's gonna basically take us through a lot of iconic albums by all different artists and stuff, different styles, stuff maybe we wouldn't listen to usually. Maybe it is stuff that we do like, but I mean, the three of us all like different stuff. I mean, I'm sure we all like a lot of the same stuff too. But Colin, I know you're more like a Taylor Swift kind of guy, whereas
True.
Jack and I like rock and rap.
Yeah.
And you like country and pop.
Yep, true.
But, yeah, so we're just kind of going to go about it, give our thoughts, and the album we're doing today, which you can already tell from the thumbnail, is Doolittle by the Pixies. So, I guess, Pixies, alternative rock band. How much do you guys know by the Pixies before this? Or about them?
I knew Where Is My Mind, which everybody probably did. I knew a little bit of Hey and a little bit of Here Comes Your Man, and other than that, didn't know anything.
Wow, okay. Colin?
I knew Here Comes Your Man. I don't know what from or why. I guess just famous song. And then I knew Debaser because it's in Skate 3. And I used to play Skate 3 a lot.
Yeah.
What about you, Lee?
I think I knew this album pretty well. And I actually do like the Pixies a good bit. I'll get into that more later, but I actually saw them live. I've actually been to a concert, pretty good live show.
You went to a Pixies concert or like they opened?
No, like I bought tickets to see them. I probably wouldn't have gone if the person I was going with didn't also happen to probably be a bigger fan of them than me. But I always, like you said, like Here Comes Your Man, I've known that song my entire life.
Yeah.
And like Debaser, all that. So, I like the Pixies. At the very least, respected them a good bit, and which I won't get into now so much. But like I said, they're an alternative rock band. How do you guys feel about alternative rock? What does it mean to you? Like, is it a genre you seek out regularly? What are your thoughts?
I think it's a very broad term. I don't necessarily know what to think of when I hear the term alternative rock. I guess I don't necessarily say I seek it out, but for the most part, I don't really mind it. I think when I think of alternative rock, I think of things in the late 80s to mid 2000s that didn't really fit the mold of anything else. So you just threw them under the umbrella term of alternative rock. It goes from, in my mind, as far from like the Pixies to like the Black Keys. I'd probably put as like alternative rock. Maybe like there's some like more popular stuff, maybe like alternative rock. I'd put like, even you can make an argument like 21 Pilots is like alternative rock, or like AWOL Nation or Cage the Elephant or things like that. I think it's a very broad term. It's not my favorite, but I don't necessarily hate it either. I'm kind of indifferent about it.
CP? Yeah, by the way, good job, Jack. That was awesome, man.
Thank you.
He was pretty good.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
I'd say I'm on the same page as Mr. Jack Jump here.
Thank you.
I never really go out of my way to listen to alternative rock, But if it's on, there are definitely songs I like. I probably couldn't even think of any. But I'd hear it and go, oh, I know that song. I like that song. But that's never something I'd go out of my way to listen to. I mean, I like the Black Keys, if you consider them alternative rock. From what I previously knew from the Pixies, I like that stuff. I would think there's a lot of alternative rock in Skate 3. And I thought that game had a great soundtrack.
With alternative like punk, stuff like that.
Stuff like that. I like it all, but never something I'd go out of my way to listen to. Or previously, never something I'd go out of my way to listen to.
I kind of have a mixed history with alternative rock because like it's always been around. Like because alternative rock like remained popular up until like when we were still when we were alive, like mid 2000s. Like there were a lot of alternative rock bands that like had like good amount of success. But then when I kind of got older and I got into more like hard rock and metal, I kind of viewed alternative rock as like basically it's rock for if you're a pussy, basically. That's kind of how I viewed it. I won't lie. I've definitely changed my mind on that, and a lot of the 90s like grunge stuff changed my mind. But that stuff is a lot different than the Pixies, and I don't know if you guys agree. I don't think alternative rock is really a sound. I think it's more like you don't fit in. I also don't think alternative rock post like Nirvana coming out was even alternative rock. Like it was just like something else. Because to me, alternative rock, and this is what I like about the Pixies, is they were like a true alternative rock band. Like look at their pictures. That was 1989. Who else was around 1989? Like you'd have like an Aerosmith,
Motley Crue.
They were like supposed to be these cool guys who are like trying to act tough. The Pixies, no, they are not like that at all. Like you look at Black Francis, the singer, he's not that. Okay, he's like not a guy that like you see hang a poster of in your room. You know what I mean? Like, so they were like truly an alternative band. Like they were not mainstream, carving their own way. And there were a lot of bands in the 80s like that were like in REM, bands like that who just, they didn't fit in. They were just doing their own thing. They weren't like, they were more like, kind of like outcast dudes.
I can't stop yelling.
Trying to,
There you go, bub.
there you go.
Thank you. It feels cold.
Yeah, it is cold. You can chug it. But trying to like just make music because they like music. But I feel like also that's kind of what rock and roll was all about when it started. And I think bands like the Pixies kind of picked the essence of that back up. Versus where a band, let's say the hair bands, who granted, I don't really think, I think they're, I don't know if you agree with that, a lot of them are probably became overhated, but I don't think you can argue that their artistic merit was like not there compared to other bands.
Yeah, I agree. I think the reason that they're overhated, if anything, is because they definitely are. They didn't really care about the music, it seemed like, as much as they cared about getting money and doing drugs and having fun. But I also feel like for a lot of them, for a lot of those people, like Motley Crue and like Def Leppard and stuff, at least as far as I'm aware, I feel like they would kind of be the first people to say, like, oh yeah, no, we write this music because it provides us a lifestyle that's a lot of fun and not because it's like super artistic or anything. And honestly, like, I mean, fair. Like, I really don't have a problem with that. I think like if you have like a major problem with that, that's fine, I guess. But also, I think that probably comes from a part or like a place of jealousy almost. Like, yeah, it'd be a lot of fucking fun to be one of those guys. And I think that there is definitely obviously a place for, people like the Pixies or like you said, like REM, I think is a good example of another band that's like that. That kind of comes back to the super artistic place and like, all right, yeah, we're here for the music. But that wasn't what was necessarily popular, and I don't really have a problem with that. I think with people listening to, hair metal and stuff like that more than bands like this. I think basically whatever you want to listen to is what you should be able to listen to.
Stop yawning, man.
I can't.
I went on a long tangent. That one was my fault.
Yeah, dude, are you
I'm
being
not yawning
disrespectful
because
to
I'm
Jack?
bored. I'm yawning because I've been up since 4:30.
Well, suck it up, man. God.
He's a blue collar man, ladies.
I'm kidding. I don't care. But, yeah, I mean, do you guys just want to get into it? How you guys want to do this? You want to go song by song, or you want to just take turns?
I'm down to just take turns.
All right. So,
I disagree.
Okay.
you disagree?
Well, land
All
your
right,
choice
well,
then.
That's why I did that.
Thanks.
Okay, okay, so let's talk about this. What did you like about this album?
Okay, I'll go first. I was not expecting the musicianship to be as tight as it was at certain points. A good thing that stood out really to me was the drumming. Dave Lovering, that was his name, did a really good job, and I had never really heard him before, or really thought of him or anything like that before, and I've been playing the drums for like almost 10 years at this point.
No, not trying to flex or anything.
I was actually trying to flex, so please don't
He's
speak
not
for me
that
ever
good.
again. But yeah, the like drum intro in La La Love Me, I was like, oh shit, he's getting it right now. And there was a lot of different parts or places in the album where the drumming was really, really good. I like that they took some interesting chances throughout the album. Like Silver was a really cool song. I like that one a lot. It sounded like almost like a Western a little bit.
And Colin, just so you know, like if you were to look at a map, this side would be the east, and then that side would be the west.
For the viewers, it'd be the opposite.
Yeah, for the viewers,
That
it
is
would be
true.
the opposite. But anyway, keep going, Jack. Thank you.
Obviously, Here Comes Your Man is very different. I always thought it was kind of annoying, that song, but hearing it...
Hot take.
Hot take.
Well, hold on. I'm going to reel it in now. Hearing it, like when I sat down and listened to this album, I was like, okay, this song's really not that bad. There was that, I think Crackety Jones was like a super fast-paced like punk song. That song was really cool.
That one for me, that's debatable for me, but I'll get to that.
Well, I'm saying it's cool because they went to another. It was like I appreciated that they went to a lot of different places. But yeah, that's where I'll stop with the compliments.
All right, Colin, let's see what you got. Man. What do you like about it?
I like what Jack said. I like how there was almost a lot of different styles in it. How they'd have slower songs like La La Love Me, which kind of reminded me of The Strokes, I think.
I could totally hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I honestly was like, is this the same singer?
I also
And
real
it
quick,
wasn't actually. It was the drummer.
It was
singing
the drummer
that one.
singing,
Really?
and
Yeah.
I forgot to say this. I literally looked up online, is this Morrissey?
I
from the
thought it
Smiths?
was the Smiths too.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know Morrissey sang a song with Pixies,
Oh,
and then I realized it was just a
I
drummer.
couldn't figure out, but I almost thought are they making fun of the Smiths? Like I don't know how much you know by the Smiths.
I think that's who I meant, and I didn't even mean The Strokes.
But-
I meant The Smiths.
Yeah.
He sounded so much like Morrissey.
Yeah, it was insane.
Like yeah.
But sorry, not to interrupt you.
Oh, no, you're okay. I like the musicians. I thought they did very well. I also think the drums stood out to me too. I think that was consistently something that stood out. The guitar, I don't know what kind of effect it was. I feel like it was pretty similar throughout the whole album, or I don't know what it was.
Just in tone and.
But I thought it sounded cool. It was an interesting sound, not something that I always hear. But I think the main thing that stood out, and I didn't even always like it, but I think it was a great thing about the album, was the different sounds throughout the album. And how it would go back to back, completely different style. It wasn't like a gradual change or anything. It was, you don't really know what you're getting in your first listen. I think that was my favorite thing about the album.
Nice. Lee, what did you like about it?
There's actually a good bit I like about this album. Like I said, I've seen them live before. I think they're a good band. First of all, I think the band's chemistry is really. I feel like they're not like great musicians. Like they're not like a Rush
Right.
They're not even probably like an AC/DC level of musician, really, of like far as like at least not like the guitar or something like that.
Yeah, sure, I'll
But
give you that.
their chemistry, they are really good at just fitting in together, and like no matter what, they like just write good parts. I feel like Kim Deal, she's not like a crazy bassist, but she just her tone and her parts, like the bass guitar sounded like awesome on this album. So that's another thing I like. Gil Norton was the producer, and he went on to be pretty popular. Like did a handful of Foo Fighters albums. Like his engineering, dude, whoever was the engineer, but the production, it just sounds, for a band like this, it just sounds really good. Like usually these types of bands don't typically sound good.
Production wise.
Production wise.
Yeah.
Another thing I liked about it is the surf rock influence. Like I like surf rock, and like Here Comes Your Man. That's like a beachy surf rock kind of song.
Definitely.
And I really respect Frank Black. They were I was reading about this, and they were pushing for him to add more to his songs, because Surfer Rosa was the album before this produced by Steve Albini, who, if you don't know who he is, rest in peace. He did like some later Nirvana stuff, just really angular, kind of like doesn't give a shit kind of a personality, like wants it to purposely sound like kind of rough and edgy. So the album before that, which was also pretty good, Surfer Rosa, they were a little more raw. Like they were honestly still good writers, but they were trying to get Frank Black, or Black Francis, whatever I call him. I'm gonna call him Black Francis because that's funnier. But
That is a great name.
but they were trying to get him to add more stuff to his songs, but he was like, "No, dude, I want this to be like 2-minute songs." He's like, Buddy Holly. He's like one of the originators of rock and roll. His stuff was like 2.5 minutes. And I kind of agree with him. Like that is what, like later in rock, you had Led Zeppelin, you had Yes, you had Rush, you had all these bands who granted I love these bands, but they kind of did take rock and put it to an unrelatable point. Like you're like, yeah, I'm never gonna be able to be like Yes, you know?
Yeah.
These songs you can learn after 2 weeks of playing guitar. So I think that's cool about them. The surf rock stuff, I like how they're true to their origins, to rock and roll's origins. Production I like. The lyrics, I think he's a good lyricist. A lot of biblical imagery, kind of some environmental themes, like on Monkey Gone to Heaven was cool. So great lyricist, I thought. And honestly, I'm curious what you guys think, but I really like his vocals. Because I think he's another example. Like, do I think he's a great singer? No. A lot of times he sounds kind of unpleasant, bordering on annoying, but he somehow like makes it work on every song for me, except for maybe one. But
Yeah.
like as a vocalist, he just kind of knew what to do with his voice.
Well, Liam, if I may,
Go ahead.
I disagree with you completely. I think Black Francis ruined this album for me. If
Wow.
Yeah, I'll start off or I'll preface everything I'm about to say by saying I respect and appreciate everything he did. I really do. I think that it was a good, like you said, it was a choice where he said like he didn't really want to add too much to this song or to any of the songs, and I completely understand where he's coming from and I respect it, but I think it was the absolute wrong choice. I think that I wanted a lot more from pretty much all these songs, and also like to disagree with what you said again, I think that the production should have been more raw, because for most of the songs, like again, maybe like Here Comes Your Man, you could polish it up, and because that song just kind of lends to, I think, a more polished production, but like the first 4 songs on here, I'm like, I don't know why you're messing with the raw production that would just sound so much better for a song like this.
A lot of people agreed with that when this came out.
Yeah.
They wanted to be raw.
I think it was just way too polished for the sound that I at least thought that they were going for. And again, there's a lot of different sounds on this album, so for some of them, yeah, it's fine to have more production, or I mean more polished production, but for I think the vibe that they were trying to go for, they needed to have a much more raw production. And again, to your point, Black Francis vocally, I I hated his vocals.
All right.
And again,
Wow.
if you like it, like you liked it, and I respect that, I appreciate it. It just was not for me at all.
And I'm not the guy that would usually like stuff like this. I feel like.
Yeah, and I feel like I kind of am.
Yeah,
Like,
I
think
feel
I
like
don't usually like. I was trying to, in my mind, be like, why do I like, you know, some of the Ween stuff, but don't like this guy, because they like sound pretty similar. But I think like also to that point, Dean Ween I think can be a very good singer when he wants to be, and I think that he was just. Black Francis was annoying. I was like, bro, shut up. Like the song, and again, I'm not trying to like shit on him or be like a hater, but the song Hey, I was like, this could probably be like a 9 or a 10, but Black Francis is singing. And so it brought down to like a 6 or a 7 to me.
Wow.
But like, again, instrumentally and musically, it was really good. I was like, wow, this is a really good song, but his vocals just are bad.
I disagree. I think that
Let's go.
there are songs
I hate the Hugers right now.
where, I mean, he had like, I don't know, interesting vocals like
Yeah.
Tame, where he's kind of just yelling.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just the style he was going for, something different. But I don't think there was a single song where I'm just thinking like, he's annoying because he sounds annoying. I might be thinking, this song's kind of not my favorite.
Sure.
Why is he screaming the whole time? But it wasn't like, Black Francis sucks, and he's a piece of shit. Like, I wasn't thinking that.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You
I did not
were
say
getting
that.
really close.
I did not
to
say
that.
that. I said. I'll
Jack
preface this.
saw red when
I
I
said-
said that I liked his singing. Jack went. I could see him like.
I said I'll preface this by saying I respect him, and I understand why you. I understand if
You
you
don't
like him.
want
I
him to
understand
die.
it. I don't want him to die. And
He just wants him to get hurt.
really bad. No, I'm kidding. I said I understand why you would like the vocals, but they just were not for me. Whoever's next can speak.
Also, one more thing I want to say I like about this album is the pacing of it. Like, I feel like by halfway through an album like this, I usually would be like, by then it would start getting mid. But like when you get to Mr. Greaves, it just kind of keeps picking up for me until until the end. So I guess what didn't you like about it other than his vocals, Jack?
Honestly, other than that, I think that, like I said, I would have liked to have a little bit like more of some of the songs, like explored a little bit. It was very like very, very fast and very quick, and I didn't necessarily like that. But other than that, the Black Francis was basically the biggest part of for like me as why I didn't like it.
And biggest too, because.
And again, I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sure he's a great guy. I'd love to get a beer with him one day. I'm sure.
He probably doesn't drink. These people don't try.
Yeah,
probably
true,
Drink
they
beer.
probably
They
don't.
drink like what do people like this drink?
IPAs,
No, I think like seltzers.
like wine.
Wine cooler, but they're like in their 50s still.
Yeah, yeah. I think that also like this sound kind of brought me back to.
Oh, I know exactly what you're gonna
I
say,
don't think you do.
and I'm gonna agree with it probably. But,
Well, we'll see. It brought me back to Minneapolis.
oh my God, yes, I totally agree. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
That's not what I thought you were
It brought me
gonna say.
back to when I was in Minneapolis. But I think, to your point, a lot of the people that I played with me in Minneapolis, and if any of them are watching this right now, shout out. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Zach and Isaac.
Love Zach.
Those are my
Isaac's
boys.
not so much, but hey.
Zach and Isaac, those are my boys. But a lot of the people that like I played with there in Minneapolis and like in the music scene there, they kind of like they love the Pixies and love like this sound. And then I kind of started to realize like I think the reason they like it is because they kind of just started playing and it's really easy to learn. And then like as they kind of get better and play more music, they expand more into like faster punk or like more like a little more complex things.
Definitely very punk influenced album.
No, for sure, yeah. But again, I kind of wanted them to explore that more because I like the like Dead Kennedys and Black Flag and things like that. I like a lot more than this sound.
See, for me, I'm the opposite. I would rather listen to them do any Hey and Here Comes Your Man and anything that's more melodic. Because I'll be real, like I do like a lot of punk, especially when punk was really starting to like first come out. But after a certain point, punk rock as a genre just kind of like is not for me.
I agree with that.
So,
but like the 70s and 80s stuff.
yeah, like the Clash are one of the best bands ever. Even if you don't like them, just what they did for music, like, is imperative. But then it just kind of got to be like more of like a scene than music to me. And like, there's a lot of good like Rancid are cool. I like them. They also kind of sound like the Clash, so that's probably why I like them. But, yeah. But Colin, what didn't you like about this?
I don't know. I guess I didn't. There were some songs I wasn't a huge fan of, but I wouldn't even say I didn't like them. I didn't really like it when Black Francis was screaming. Well, I don't think it was the most pleasant thing to listen to. But then again, I wouldn't even say I didn't like it. It's just that wasn't for me. But I don't even know if there's anything that stood out that I just blatantly didn't like about the album.
I think that the Pixies, and I do want to get into kind of the individual songs here in a few.
Yeah.
But they remind me of like if you go to play a house show.
Yep.
Picture you're at a house show, and every single band there is influenced by the Pixies, and it's all just picture like just, and you know some of them are cool, but a lot of them are also very annoying people, and then they also all are really fucking bad. A lot of these bands, and they all sound like they're influenced by the Pixies, but the difference is the Pixies wrote good songs. I feel like so this also took me back to when I was younger and playing these shows, and then some bands I'm like, their energy is great, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm just like, bruh.
Maybe that's also why I didn't like it as much, because it did
Because
very
you know what
much.
I'm talking about. Like,
oh,
you
yeah,
pull
I
up
know
to
exactly
some
what you're talking
basement,
about.
and it's a good time because you're 19 years old, you're drinking
Right.
beer, and it's awesome. But you know, then the band's there, you're just like, you know, they might be cool people, you know.
Yeah,
but
they're just
we're
like,
just
bro,
like,
this come
bro,
on,
come
this
on.
is not it. Yeah,
And then they probably think that because you know, then we show up and we're playing like what, in my opinion, is like rock and roll, like in the most rock, like more
yeah,
like. I don't know. It's just interesting to see how rock started as one thing. Chuck Berry, Little Richard, Buddy Holly, Elvis. Who else? Jerry Lee Lewis. Richie Valens. It was all basically one thing. And then people shaped it in different ways, and it became different things. By 1989, for some people, they were like, rock and roll, that is AC/DC, man. To me, that is what rock and roll is. Other people, they were like, no. Screw that. We want to be different. To me, rock and roll is about being an outcast. It's not about partying and doing drugs and having fun and getting chicks. It's about we're misfits, you know. And then you get the Pixies out of bands like that. So it really just speaks to different crowds.
Yeah.
Like if you're a loser, you like the Pixies. I'm kidding.
but again,
no,
that's why like I think it has its spot. You know, like the Pixies have their place, and I'm not saying like, oh, they're a terrible band, they shouldn't be, you know, famous or anything like that. Like, I don't believe that. I think that if you like them, good for you. You know, do your thing. But it's just very much not for me, and I'm happy that I don't have to listen to this album again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I said it.
One more thing before we get into the songs. Nirvana absolutely took this sound and ran with it.
And I'll say this: I think Nirvana sounds so much better.
Here's my hot take of the video. I would put this on before any Nirvana album.
Yeah, that's
day of the week.
That's a bad take.
By far. And I don't dislike Nirvana. I
That's
know.
a bad take.
And, you know, Dave Grohl's probably a better drummer than Dave Lowering. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I'll give
But
you that.
other than that...
It's closer than people want to think. It's closer than people are ready to talk about, though.
Yeah. No, he's a good drummer. Like they were a talented band. Like, their sense of chemistry, I thought was phenomenal. Especially because, you know, you could tell they're not like... And Joey Santiago was a pretty damn good guitar player.
That's the other thing I want to say before we move on is a lot of the guitar leads here also kind of annoyed me a little bit.
I mean, no, they're not. They're just not like Eddie Van Halen.
Right. Yeah. But it was just very like droney and like and like feedback, and I'm like, if you're just making noise with your guitar to make noise, very rarely do I think that is
And
cool.
for the most part, I would agree.
People
with that.
can make it work,
but I think this guy was just sound like a guy who was really liked Jimmy Page and guys like that, but he just didn't practice enough.
I agree.
That's the kind of the vibe he gave me.
But I will say the guitar annoyed me marginally less than the vocals did.
Damn, so that's interesting because Jack's a drum guy. He liked the drums, and I'm the singer and guitar guy. And then Jax is just like, fuck that.
Yeah.
But let's go through the songs.
All right.
Let's go through them. I wrote them down so I can't
feel like
remember
right
all the
there
way
when
through.
you say, let's go through the songs, there should be some kind of like
Just a 90s transition.
Yeah, and
transition.
And then I'm gonna keep this in where we say there should be a 90s.
Do it.
transition.
After.
I think it should be the Batman one where it's like
Yeah, that's true. And then I'm also gonna edit something whenever Colin talks. It's just gonna be like a boom. But yeah. So how do you want to do this? Say just talk
Yeah,
about each
yeah.
song.
Yeah.
Do we like it? Do we not like it?
Yeah,
Which
okay.
order do you want to go in?
Let's
Let's
do
save
it.
Colin for last. Colin
Oh.
has been surprising me the most because
why?
I would have figured that you would have liked this less than Jack. And we haven't given our final scores yet,
Yeah.
but
I don't want to. I'm definitely coming off like I'm really fucking hate this album.
I'll be honest, you absolutely are.
I know, and I don't hate it. I'm just it's just definitely not for me. It's not it. I
He's gonna
love.
give it like a 9.
I love Ween as we've established, but the Pod and God Ween Satan. I hate those albums.
Let's not talk about those albums anymore.
I
I'm done
don't
with
hate
those.
this album. Yeah, sorry.
What album's the what's the one song I'd make fun of?
Boys Club.
Yeah.
Oh.
What album is that off?
That's off Shinola, I think.
That is such. That is the.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, especially because this is probably not going to get included. I don't
Well,
remember.
I'm not gonna do a lot of editing. I'll be honest
You
with
obviously have
Liam's-
not seen these videos.
Liam's driving to, I don't know, a Mexican place. I can't remember what it's called. And that song's on.
I love that song.
And I'm just like, what is this? What are we listening to?
I love that song.
Yeah, I'm indifferent towards that. But anyway, let's go through it. Debaser. As far as album openers, especially for alternative rock goes, it doesn't get much better. That bass line is great. Not complicated, not crazy. It's not like before Jack says it, Jack's gonna be like, oh well, she's fine on bass, but I do like Geddy Lee and John Paul Jones. I agree.
I do.
I agree. And I do too, but yeah, it's a good song. Our other brother, Aiden, Aiden used to be a big fan of this song when he was a kid.
Really?
Probably from Skate 3.
Probably.
I remember he was on his MP3 player, but
I didn't know though.
yeah, it's a great song. The vocal is screaming, but it's melodic, good, decent guitar, cool riffs. I think it's a good song. I like Debaser.
I agree. I also think it's a good song.
Can't fucking believe you did that on his fucking video debut. He goes out of turn.
It doesn't make sense for us to go in turn every time. I feel like the viewers would be like, why are they going in turn?
Yeah, they get bored with it. Just good
Yeah.
idea.
Idiot.
No,
Anyway.
he will not be back. I can guarantee you that.
Wait, is this YouTube channel called Jack Jump, or is it called Liam Healy?
I don't even know, actually. I couldn't tell you.
I'm the face that brings money in here. Okay.
Colin, go finish.
I'm gonna stab him. Anyway, I think it's a good song. I think it's a good opener. I like the sound of the guitar, unlike Jack Jump. I like the drums. This song is a little screamy, like Liam said, but I don't think it's anything too extra. I think it's a good amount of screaming. I think it just sounds very, everything sounds good together. And I think it's a good song.
All right. So, I don't hate this song that much. I really didn't mind this song. I think my biggest problem with it, honestly, is the production. Like I said earlier, if it was just a little more raw, I think I would like this song a lot more.
What do you mean by that? Sorry to interrupt.
I mean, if I don't really know necessarily how to describe it, but if you were to hear like the Dead Kennedys or something, it's essentially sound
He wants it to
intentionally
sound
more
more
shitty.
amateur.
Yeah, if you intentionally make it sound worse,
Less polished.
less polished. Yeah, that's kind of the best way that I can put it. But I think if you were to make it sound more raw, then I think that it would lend to this sound better. But I didn't hate it. I probably would listen to it again. That would have to be in a very specific mood.
What mood would that be?
Trying to impress a liberal arts student.
No, not
With his
even
music taste.
Not even. Yeah. I was thinking if somebody at work, like my boss just said, here's 50 more pieces of paperwork you gotta get through before the weekend, I'd be like, man, fuck you.
I would say, man, you know what I would say? I would say this. I would say, freaking packets, yo.
Exactly.
These kids gotta learn face to face.
Yeah.
That guy likes
Just
the
stop handing
Pixies.
a freaking packet,
That
yo.
guy liked the Pixies.
You gotta touch his freaking heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy went to go listen to the Debaser in his car.
Yeah. We probably had to walk home.
Yeah, but I think this leaned a little bit too screamy to me. And again, that's the Francis Black screamy, because I didn't like his screamy. But yeah, there are worse songs on this album for sure. I'd probably put this top 3 or 4.
Tame. I thought for a second track, I really liked how the momentum kept up. It's screamy, but I like Tame. I think it's I think it's a good one. I like Tame.
I don't really like this song. I think it's very repetitive, and it's repetitive. I don't mind a song if it's repeating, like the chorus or whatnot, but the repetitiveness is in the screaming. He's just yelling "Tame."
Can we hear your impression of
No.
what it sounds like?
Yeah.
No, I'm not allowed to. I'd have to get permission from
That
Francis
is true.
Black.
He was-
Black
Sorry,
Francis.
Black Francis.
Yeah, he's famous for suing.
True.
For suing CPH.
Yeah.
I just think it gets a little bit annoying. I think it drags on. The screaming drags on too long. But this is one of the few tracks where I probably wouldn't listen to it again.
Well, Jack, can we skip you because you hate it?
Yeah, I
or
didn't
just
like
keep it short, please.
Again, yeah, sorry. I will say I pretty much feel the same way for this song as the next 3 up until Here Comes Your Man. I wanted more of it. Like, I wanted them to expand. Like you said, it's very simple, it's very repetitive. And I kind of was like, okay, I want you to do more with this. Or if you're going to lean into the punk sounding thing, like lean into it and make it fast and loud
and
and
for
brash.
me, it's just as far away from the punk thing as the Pixies can go. I like.
Yeah. See, I was also kind of pissed where I was like, bro, pick a fucking side. Like if you're gonna do
That's
it,
what made him good, bro.
if
Yeah,
you're gonna be a punk sound, be a punk sound. Do it. All right, that's what I'm saying.
Wave of Mutilation, I think this is one of the best songs on the album, and just one of the best alt rock songs. Period. Wave of Mutilation, great chorus. That's what I like about the Pixies. They're loud, but the Wave of Mutilation, it's got a good hook, got a good melody. It's a good sing along song. What do you think, CP?
I also like this song. I don't know if it was one of my favorites. I think it's a good song. But I like it, like I had said earlier, and like what Liam has said.
You can call me Old Lee.
No, I'm not going to call you. I'm going to call you...
My big brother Lee.
No.
Yeah, just call me Big Brother.
I'm just going to call you Liam for now.
Call him Mr. Hughes.
He's not Mr.
And Jack, you can call me Daddy.
Okay, I will.
Typical. Anyway, I like the slower chorus. I like when they change their sound throughout the album. I like it. It doesn't sound the same the entire time. I think it's cool. I think it's interesting. I think it keeps you entertained almost. It doesn't just sound like the same song through the whole track list, which I think a lot of artists do.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't bad at times, but you listen to this album and you notice each song versus a lot of albums. If you're not paying attention, you're doing something else, just listening to it, you'll be like, I don't even remember hearing such and such because it just blends.
Yeah. Jack?
Yeah, it just wasn't not for me. I just didn't like it.
All right.
I just didn't like it.
I
man. I'm
Bleed.
sorry.
I Bleed is the 4th song, and this one got a good groove. I kind of like when Kim Deal and Black, when Kim and Black sing together. I like how their voices blend, and this is pretty good. You know, decent low down, kind of guitar. It's a fine song. It's not one of my favorites.
I like this song. I think it's a little more punky. If I'm thinking of the right song.
I Bleed.
Yeah, how does that one go?
No,
No, like how do the words go? That's how I remember it. How's like the chorus go?
It's got that guitar in the background.
How's the chorus go?
I don't know, man.
Anyway,
Just
is
make
it not
something
a
up,
punky
man.
song?
I don't know. It's not one of my favorites, man.
Well,
Clearly not one of
clearly
yours
not one of
either.
my favorites. I don't even remember it.
Forgettable.
Yeah, I'd say this song is kind of forgettable. There are
I would
definitely.
agree with that one.
I think this is a very good album. I think there are some forgettable songs.
Oh,
Though.
Jack?
I'll say that as much shit as I've given the vocals, I do agree with you that when Kim starts singing, I think that it's kind of a cool sound.
I think you have a crush on it.
No, I don't.
Jack likes Kim.
Yeah. So there's points there, but again, it's kind of to, I guess, your point, or maybe the exact opposite of what you're saying. I think that up in the first half of this album kind of blends together for me, and I don't really like that. It's just I'm not a fan of the sound, man. I don't know what you want me to say.
Speaking of different sound, Here Comes Your Man.
Yeah.
It's just a fantastic song. Did love this song. Just an amazing song. I don't even know what to say about it. I like the surf rock. That's a killer riff, dude.
Yeah.
And their vocals are great. Lyrics are great. Singing. Voice sounds good on this one to me. Both their voices. What do you think, CP?
Yeah, I agree. I don't know much about the Pixies. I knew this song, like I had said previously, but I did not. I don't even think I listened or looked at the track list when I first listened to the album, and this song came on, and I was like, huh, I did not know this was by the Pixies, let alone on this album. It caught me off guard, and I love the song. I think it's great. I think it's a good sound. I like the surf rock. I like the hook. I just like the song as a whole. I think it's great.
You guys will be happy to hear. I also did like this song.
All right.
I think we got 3 for 3 on this one. I think it was like I said before I did this and listened to this album in its entirety, I did know this song, and I always thought it was kind of like annoying, but I also kind of realized I never really had given it a chance. Like I heard the riff and I just didn't like the guitar tone that much, so I was like, just skip it, I don't want to deal with this crap. But then I listened to it, gave it a shot, I was like, no, this is a good song. It was a very interesting decision for them to make to write this song, and I think it paid off.
And Dead, I could deal without. Not memorable to me.
Yeah, I don't even remember the song.
I'll be honest, I also don't even remember how the song goes.
Yeah, I can't remember even how it goes. And I listened to this album a good bit.
I listened
did
to it
too.
3 times.
I listened to it like 10 times.
Yeah, I listened to it a lot.
And
I don't know
there
how
are
much.
good
You can't pay me to do that.
there are a good few songs where I don't remember them at all.
Now, Monkey's Going to Heaven. Colin, I don't know. Did you know this one before this?
I didn't know. And
Did
I was
you?
talking
I
was
yeah.
talking to Dad about this, and he brought up that song. He was like,
That
"You knew that
song
one before," and I was like, "Nope." didn't know it.
I think that song is an amazing song. Lyrics, everything. This song live, by the way, and they're not, and like them as a live band, dude, they are really like tight. They're a tight live band, like really.
I believe
skilled.
it. Yeah.
Like they didn't play like a punk band.
I thought you meant like they all wear tight clothes.
No, I mean I like Black Francis too, but yeah, that's just me, of course. But you know, they are such a tight band. They don't play like a punk band. They play like pros. If that makes
I believe
sense.
it. Yeah, I believe
But they, this song is awesome. The chorus is awesome. Great vocal harmonies in the chorus from Kim and Black, and you know, great guitar solo, kinda, right? And if the devil was 6,
Yeah.
and God is 7, that is the best screaming part he has on the album because it makes sense, it fits.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
he shout out to New York and New Jersey, Colin. Let's go Jets.
That was awful.
it. Yeah,
come on.
just like the Jets.
Oh,
That's messed up.
hey, whatever. Anyway,
Gotcha.
let's not go
Sing.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole. You know, he's singing about slush. I like slush. Slushies are good. What do you boys think about this song?
I think it's a good song. I think it's different than the previous songs, and I think it's good. I think it, like I've been saying, I like the switch up in the album. I like how it changes song to song, and I think this one is very memorable. I would definitely listen to this song again. As a whole, I just like how it sounds. It's everything goes well together. Drums,
Okay.
guitar, all of it. Lyrics.
Jack, go ahead and break my heart. What do you think?
I really did like this song. I did. It was a good song. I think I agree with you that the vocal harmonies in the chorus sounded really cool. I didn't realize that I had knew this song, but I just heard it.
Through the grapevine.
I guess through the grapevine. I don't know where I heard it, but I did know it.
You
And
were at a vineyard and you were like,
Liam, shut up.
No, it's a saying.
oh.
But yeah, no, I did like this song. I think the guitar solo was really good. The vocal harmonies in the chorus sounded good. And yeah, the lyrics on this one, I wasn't super happy with the lyrics throughout the album, but the lyrics on this one were really good.
Great.
I'm not one to pay attention to like what the lyrics are actually saying.
Shocker.
Yeah, it depends on the band. Like if I'm listening to AC/DC, like I'm not looking
Right.
up to what let me put my love into you is about.
Yeah, or like
I'm
pour some sugar on me.
Yeah, and I'm
Something
like,
that.
yeah,
I
whatever.
don't need to know this.
Even though I think there's a time and a place for those types of lyrics too.
But like the Pixies is like, okay, they at least strike me as a band that has something profound to say.
Yeah.
I would think that. I mean, when I think of it now, I feel like alternative rock, they would be trying to have a meaning in their song.
Yeah.
But I feel like just with how it sounds, you would think they would just be talking nonsense. Because it's supposed to be kind of like a rough sound, I guess.
Right.
So you would think they would just be saying whatever.
Okay. Mr. Greaves, I think, is the point of the album where, for me, I was like, okay, this is an album I really like, because I think by now, you know, all the songs I know, actually that's not true, I know Hey and Gouge Away before this, but
Spoiler alert.
they kept up the pace. Like, I think it's a good song. It's catchy, it's kind of got a fun little vibe to it. I like Mr. Greaves.
Yeah, I liked it too. In the beginning of the song, at this point in the album, there was already like, I knew what I liked and didn't like about the Pixies, I'd say.
Yeah.
And hearing the intro,
I was like, oh boy.
the lyrics were, not the lyrics, the way he was singing, it was kind of iffy to me. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to like this song at all.
And then when he comes in with
Yeah, and I ended up really liking this song. This is definitely one of my favorite songs on the album, which was a complete surprise for me, just based on the intro.
And Jack, let me guess, you attempted to break your phone the first time you heard this? Or?
I mean, I didn't like it as much as Monkey Gone to Heaven or Here Comes Your Man, but I didn't hate it as much as the first like half of the album. Maybe other than Debaser, it was probably on the same level as Debaser, maybe a little bit lower to me. I really did like the drums again. I thought the drums again musically this album is really good.
You
Which I was not surprised.
Is that right?
Do it again.
Shit, you put me in a spot. I guess I gotta do this.
That would probably be more accurate. But you can get away with the first one. Anyway,
Well, how would you do it?
Showboater.
I think that was wrong. Anyway.
I'm gonna fight.
Well, come on, you do it now.
I'm embarrassed, honestly.
Good, you should be.
Um,
I'm just joking, CPH.
well,
Relax.
no, I lied. I don't want to embarrass you. That's
Okay.
Well, he's not worried about it, so you can do it.
That's what he wants you to think. That's what he alludes to, but he really is. I know he goes in his car and cries.
I just think Black Francis is an annoying singer.
Yeah, let's circle back around here.
At the end of the day, I just don't like his vocals. Again, I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'd give him a handshake if I had met him, if he'd have me. But it's just not for me. It's just not my
Would you spit in your hand first?
No, I wouldn't. I'd
That
look
would
in
be
his eyes
disrespectful.
and I'd say, "Sir."
Mr. Francis?
Yeah.
Or Mr. Black?
Mr.
I think
Black?
he goes by Frank Black now.
Do you think he's related to Jack?
Ooh, that's a good question. They do kind of look somewhat similar. They're
Because
both
they're like a little chubby.
heftier set white fellas.
Did you guys used to crack your backs over the chair in high school, like to go on like this?
Yes.
Of course, Colin. Everyone does that.
No, definitely not.
So, La La Love You was, to me, the most slept-on song in the album. And yeah, it sounds like the Smiths. And I do think he says chicken butt at the beginning. You can hear that a little bit in when they're going,
It says shake your butt.
I heard chicken butt, personally.
I looked up lyrics.
I'd have to
There.
listen to it again. Did you
But-
look at the lyrics because you thought he said chicken butt?
No, I looked at lyrics because that's what a good music reviewer does.
So then why'd you do that?
Oh!
Roasting!
Ah, man.
Beef!
Yeah, no, he got me.
But,
I'll give you that one.
yeah, I like this song a lot. I think it's one of the best songs on the album.
I agree. I like this song a lot. I was a little confused. You said the drummer was singing it?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Jack, his name?
David Levering.
Good job, Jack.
Thanks. I actually did my research. Zing! Zing!
I looked at the wiki right before this. Anyway, I thought it was a unique sound for the album. I think it was well put together. Like I was just saying, I was a little confused who was singing it, but I enjoyed it. I think they should have had another song sung by the drummer. I thought it was really good. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, Jack.
I'm a slut for a drum intro. I'm a slut for a good drum intro. And
You should edit it to where it just stops after all.
The video ends.
But yeah, no, I love. I really like this song. This is a good song. The drums were. This is the song where I had to be like, all right, this drummer, I'm gonna have to go ahead and say is underrated, because nobody ever talks about David Lovering and his drumming ability.
Never heard the name before.
Exactly, but maybe they should. But yeah, no, I like this song a lot. I thought it was a good inclusion on this album.
Number 13, Baby, is okay. Not one of my favorites. One of the more forgettable ones. This is fine.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Oh yeah, I forgot about Crackety Jones. Not big on that one.
Yeah, I wasn't even a fan of that song either. That one, again, though, was what I didn't like about Tame. It was repetitive. He was yelling too much.
It was short, so it didn't bug me. But
yeah, but it was just I wouldn't mind if I didn't hear that song again.
The entire album up until Crackety Jones, I was like, I kind of want them to just go for it and play like a fast punk song, and they did, and I was like, I was like, maybe I didn't want that, so I wasn't really crazy about it either.
So number 13, Baby, do you guys like that one?
I liked it.
It was catchy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say up until the ending where they had like a guitar solo at the end, like outro. I was like, this probably is my least favorite song on the album, but then they had that ending guitar solo, and it was no longer. I don't know what is my least favorite song on the album though.
So
I didn't really like that.
There Goes My Gun. I like a good bit. Catchy song.
Yeah, I like that song a lot too. I like the
Gun's
so is that
freaking
Kim doing
cool,
background vocals?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I like the background vocals a lot in that song. It's a little smoother, I think, than a lot of the songs on the album, but I think it was good.
Agree.
I think it was just a good sound.
Yeah. Jack, did you like There Goes My Gun?
I didn't hate it. I didn't really like it that much. It's just not. It was pretty forgettable. Kind of blended into the rest of the album, and yeah.
Now, Hey, love Hey. I always like that song. This is almost their stab at a little bit of funk. Great lyrics. Other than Monkey Going to Heaven, I think probably his best lyrics. It's kind of like biblical again, like talking about, just like a horror in my head, I feel like it's, there's religious connotations there, and the band sounds great, and like you said, their chemistry, they just know exactly what to play. It's a cool song.
I'm actually going to look this song up because I can't remember it, but I know
Hey?
I probably liked it. Yeah.
It's the one
Which
where he
is
starts and he
surprising.
goes, hey.
Oh yeah, it's good.
I was listening to the album on the way here.
Yeah, so I like Hey a
And
lot.
it was actually the next song. I don't think I remember any of the last three songs.
Really?
Wow,
Yeah.
that's shocking because.
So,
I'm just going to skip to the middle. I remember you said he was saying horror in my head in this one.
Yeah.
I remember that, but I
Yeah.
just didn't remember the song.
so I also like Silver a lot, too.
Well, hold on, let me talk about Hey.
No.
In the meantime, I'm just going to be going like this.
Yeah. So I liked Hey. Again, I think if it wasn't as annoying of vocals for me, it would have been like a 9 or a 10.
Yeah, it's a good song.
It's like instrumentally is a very, very good song. And even lyrically, I liked it too. But it's just I do not like his voice, man. I'm sorry, Black Francis. I can't emphasize this enough. I'm sure you're a good guy.
Yeah,
Is that
and
Black Francis on Silver?
No, that's Kim.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Black Francis is gonna watch this, so I don't
Probably.
think you're a bad guy,
Yeah.
Jack
Well, I don't think you're a bad
I don't think you're a bad guy.
I'd love to have a sit-down conversation with
Yeah.
you. We can really iron out our differences.
Yeah.
Well, do you think he's like a bad guy? Like
a villain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he's like a Dr. Doofenshmirtz where he's not really like a bad guy. He just it's a end.
It's a
to-
misunderstanding.
It's a means to an end.
Maybe he got picked on a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but if all of the Pixies were brawling, who do you think would win? Like it's
Probably Black Francis.
Kim Deal for sure.
Why is that?
Because they're all good guys. They would never hit a woman.
Yeah.
No, but it's like the scenario is like they all want to kill each other.
I think Kim
Black
Deal. I
Francis
feel like
would
she
win.
probably is the most. I think.
Think she's trained in a martial art.
Yeah, she gives me like.
Is it because she has short hair?
Come on, man. No, that's not why. I mean,
I'm just wondering.
that could help, in a fight, technically.
Well, I feel like if you do martial arts, you're more prone to have short hair. It won't get in the way.
Yeah, that's a good point. Jack, do you have any thoughts on that?
I think Black Francis win because he's got the most mass.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Is he the tallest, you know?
I don't know, but I'm sure he's the most pudgy.
But that could weigh him down. He'd probably.
Nah, he's got fucking tree trunks for trees. I mean for legs. Fuck.
Yeah, but then if he's a little more pudgy, he'd probably get winded a little quicker.
No, see this
I
is
think
proving to me. This is proving to me
that
that you don't know how to fight because all your power comes from your waist down.
I think the Pixies, all of them, will be horrible at fighting.
I'm gonna change my answer to that. I agree.
Yeah,
I think they've got to have a winner. Do you think
Yeah,
they'll end up hugging?
I think
no,
most
no,
bands.
no.
I think most bands out there would be horrible at fighting.
Who do you think would be good? Slayer. Slayer, they don't have to fight. Come on, dude. Slayer
We
knows
were
how
talking
to
about
fight.
this the other day, Liam. Thin Lizzy probably would be.
Thin Lizzy.
Because they're from Ireland.
They're just drunken Irishmen.
Yeah, but the Thin
Recipes.
Lizzy though,
They're all
they
dead.
would like fight dirty. Like Brian
Yeah, but
Robertson, their
that's
guitarist, used to like
I
get
mean-
in fights. He had to quit the band because
Are we talking about a street fight or
they
get in
would
the
get
octagon?
they're more like a street fight kind of a band. than
No,
like
but
an
what fight
octagon.
are we talking about? Which band?
It would be
win?
good in the octagon.
It would be good. Maybe like Gojira.
Not many.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking of one of those like technical like those new age technical death metal bands. I feel like
What
they would
makes
know
them good?
because they know how to move their body.
Oh, that's a good point actually.
Like the drummer, the fucking drummer doing
Sugar.
or Meshuggah, yeah. Fucking that motherfucker knows how to his leg could be kicking you and his fist could be punching you at the same time. You
Yeah.
have no
So
idea
like
what's
one of these?
happening. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you do know how to fight.
Yeah. So Silver, I like that one. A little western.
I like Silver a lot
A
too.
bit of
Yeah.
calm before a storm. You know.
I do like that song. Was there any lyrics on that song?
Yeah, but I think technically yes, but I think it's also just like this is
right.
I liked it. I liked that it
Cool
was
vocal harmonies, cool slide guitar, which was actually played by Kim Deal. I
It
saw.
gave me the vibes of the 2011 animated film Rango.
Yeah,
I
I
can
can
see
see
that.
that.
Yeah.
Good call out,
I have
Jack.
not seen that movie in a while.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Gouge Away, I think, is an excellent closer. I think that's
Yeah.
it's a unique way to close an album, but it works really well. Like I like how they just close it like in your face and powerful, cool bass and drum intro. I like when they just build. They are like the kings of dynamics in alt rock. That's Nirvana, for example. The loud, quiet.
Yeah.
That comes from the Pixies. Like I've noticed how all their verses are like quiet, dum, 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 dum,
Yeah.
dum. And then the choruses are loud and brash and in your
Like
face.
Debaser.
Like Debaser, exactly. Like Monkey Going to Heaven. Here Comes Your Man. Does
Yeah.
that too. Gouge Away. I really like Gouge Away though.
I think that was a good song too.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to say about it.
Just
I
a great
like
way to
it.
close an album.
I like it for the reason I liked most of the other songs. I just think it sounded good. I like consistently in the album how they most times the songs that are next to each other they don't sound the same. It's like a different
That's a good
style.
point.
I
I
like
noticed that. Jack?
Again, I kind of thought it was a good closer, sure, but I'm not really. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna catch me at a Pixies tribute concert band, or whatever.
All right. Favorite and least favorite songs?
My favorite song was probably. I like Here Comes Your Man a lot, but I don't want to pick that because it's the most popular.
Well, if it's your favorite, it's your favorite.
I don't know.
It's the
though.
most popular for a reason.
That's either my favorite or probably. I like Debaser a lot. I'd say either Debaser or Here Comes Your Man, and then if I'm not going to count Here Comes Your Man, then I'd say either Debaser or Mr. Greaves, honestly.
Mr. Greaves, cool. What's your least favorite?
I think Tame
Okay.
or Crackety Jones. But I think they're kind of similar.
I guess we'll save me for last because Jack is the smallest fan
Jack's
of the
going
band.
to say least favorite song, the whole album.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say least favorite song. You can pick any of the second, third, and fourth song. I don't even remember their names right now. So pick,
Tame, Bleed, and Wave Mutilation.
yeah, pick
Wave
any
of
one of the.
Mutilation. That kind of surprises me.
Yeah,
Wave of Mutilation is not like
I
the
think
other
that's
two.
one of the more melodic ones.
Yeah.
Pick really any of those three, and as my least favorite, and my most favorite, I'll say probably Silver.
Wow.
Interesting.
Probably Silver or maybe La La Love Me.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
My favorite by far, because I think it's maybe one of the best alt rock songs ever, bar none, is Monkey Gone to Heaven.
That's a good one.
Such a good song. I'll give an honorable mention though. Hey is amazing. Gouge Away, Wave of Mutilation. I'm with you. Mr. Greaves is pretty good. La La Love You. Obviously, Here Comes Your Man. Debaser. Wave of Mutilation. I love that one. I like a lot of this album. My least
too.
favorite, I like Tame too. I thought that was cool. Silver was good, but yeah, Monkey Going to Heaven, I just had to pick that one. I just love that song. The way it starts. And least favorite, Crackety Jones. That one is a skip for me.
Yeah.
So, let's...
Do you think Monkey's actually, like that monkey was actually in
absolutely.
heaven?
Absolutely.
All
If
monkeys?
that monkey inspired that song, he absolutely went to heaven.
Okay, that's fair.
Nope.
Oh, wow.
Animals don't go to heaven.
Where do they go?
What happened?
They go to hell.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah, they don't.
So,
Your dog that is dead, you person watching this video, is in hell.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. This
Yeah.
took a dark turn.
Yeah.
But,
Do you have a reasoning for what?
It's just the way it is. The way
Okay.
God made us.
yeah. I don't, what was he saying? I think usually he was like, I don't care if you have tattoos, but it's not good behavior.
I don't care about it.
Let's give
Not
it our
good behavior.
let's give it our scores out of 10. Let's start with Jack. Let's hear yours first.
So again, I think I might have. You guys are getting the impression that I don't like it more than I do. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
So above average?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna listen to it again.
Okay, that's fair.
It has its merit. for
CP,
sure.
let's hear what you got, man.
I'd give it a. I know we're not supposed to do like point something.
I do
I'd
0.5 every
say.
single time.
You can do what you want. I don't
I'd
care.
say it's like a 7.5. I'd say it's like a good to a great album. There's like 2 songs I wouldn't listen to again. And I don't even know if I'd go as far as saying that. I would listen to them again. I might not be like, oh, this is rocking.
Yeah.
Or bobbing my head, but I think it's a pretty damn good album. I think there aren't many misses. I think it sounds good. I think it's a cool sound. It's unique for what I've listened to. I think it's pretty good.
All right, I give it a 9 out of 10. I really like this album a lot more than I thought I would. Totally not my wheelhouse
Yeah.
at all, usually. But I mean, the Pixies are because I think they're a great band. I like them a lot. I think considering it's only 38 minutes, it feels longer than that to me. I think it's because they have so many songs on it, and even with it being short, it just is kind of a lot to take in with all these songs sometimes, even despite their short length. But yeah, I like it a lot. I don't think it's perfect though. So it's a 9 out of 10. And ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'll take a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll take a 9 out of 10. And by the way,
That's an A.
Taylor
Yeah.
Swift would never, ever, ever make a freaking Monkey Going to Heaven. Yeah, okay, like she could write something like that, you know?
She could never write Crackety Jones either. and I
Yeah,
don't even
she
like
can
that
know.
song.
I'm with you.
I think that this is in.
What?
I'm kidding. No, she's not writing this. Her and Black Francis could get a fucking cup of tea though.
I do think that's a little unfair of Taylor Swift though. This is definitely not her genre.
Well, she's always like, oh, I'm alt rock, I'm alt rock.
Yeah.
Does she claim to
I
be
love the
alt rock?
Pixies. I love the Pixies. Nothing's ever
Taylor Swift is-
inspired
She's,
me more than
she's
Sugar
always
Rosa.
going like, look, on my new album, oh, it's better than the Pixies, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Does she actually
Absolutely
claim
not.
to be alt rock?
She claims to
Or
be
do her
everything.
fans?
She says she's every genre and the best at
She's
every
claimed to
genre.
be prog. She's
I
claimed to
think
be
you guys are
funk.
fucking with me.
Oh really? Do you?
Yeah, I actually do think that.
I actually do.
Do you think this album is overrated, underrated, or do you think it's properly one of the greatest albums of all time? Do you think it's? I would say it's underrated, maybe to someone who's not familiar with the genre. I'd say give this one a chance, but I think it's properly rated. I don't think it's like I think it's one of the best albums of all time, especially for its genre. Just generally speaking, like with this top 300 that we're working with, I think it belongs there. I don't think it's like absolutely like this is one of the best. So I think it's properly rated.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I think that it's pretty properly rated. I think that, I mean, if I was someone that listened to alt rock, I think this is an album I would definitely recommend to somebody if they wanted to. They were like, I like your music. What kind of music? Like, give me an album to listen to. I would definitely say this one. I would say it definitely belongs in the top 300 greatest albums or whatever. Is that what the list is?
Yeah, 300.
Yeah, I think it belongs there.
I think it's overrated. I don't think, although to be fair, I cannot name 300 albums better than it, so maybe it is properly rated. Like, it might be squeaking around 250 to 300, I don't know. I do think it's overrated. I did look up, like, reviews on, like, Reddit, of this album after I'd already made mine review, and people were loving it. I mean, to be fair, it was on like, if you're searching Doolittle by Pixies, you're probably going to like it, so you're probably going to write stuff that you like about it. But I was like, man, I have an unpopular opinion on this one.
You should have looked up bad reviews of Doolittle.
Yeah,
I don't think you can find any, dude. I think critics
people
love
this album.
Yeah.
I just didn't. It's just not a sound for me, and maybe that's because I'm a poor music reviewer and I'm not able to.
Or just you're poor.
Or I'm just poor.
There's
poor
nothing wrong
person.
with that though.
Yeah, but I think it's overrated.
Well,
That surprises me that you say that it's not the sound for you, just because I don't even think there's a sound to this album. It's
I
different.
just didn't like the vocals, man. I'm
I
sorry.
think I'm a little surprised. I think Jack probably would have thought that I would have hated this album.
I'm full
Because
of
Jack
surprises,
knows
man.
Jack knows what I like, and I feel like Jack probably would have thought, "Oh, Lee's gonna hate this crap."
I thought you were gonna be like. I thought you were gonna be more similar to me, where you're like, I respect it, but it's just
I thought Colin, you like it probably more than I think you thought you would
Yeah.
too, and I did not expect Jack to hate it at all.
sorry.
Well, I wouldn't say
Well, he didn't hate it, but he doesn't like it that much.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, real quick, we were talking about punk a lot, but what's the better subgenre, punk or metal?
Metal, I think.
Metal,
I like
absolutely.
metal
Absolutely.
better.
I feel like, I don't know a lot of punk or metal. It's not really what I listen to. I probably know more metal. I feel like metal's a lot bigger of a subgenre.
Well, there's a lot of subgenres of metal.
Exactly. I feel like punk is punk. I could be wrong, but
I feel like it definitely has like less, but yeah. All right, that was just a side thought. Just
I
wanted
think metal though. That's my
metal. Metal is cool. All right. Well, that's it. I guess we'll see you next time. That's it. Colin, thanks for coming on. You did a great job. Can't
Thanks
wait
for
to have
having
you
me.
on next time.
Good job, kid.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
Colin's
an adult,
debut.
by the way.
Sorry.
Yeah. Any
Good
closing
job, sir.
thoughts, Jack?
Any closing thoughts? No, not really.
All right. See you next time.
This is me waving goodbye.